today. We're going to have Channing Tindall. If y'all want to get started with questions once he gets ready.
Good morning.
Channing.
I've never done this before, so I don't know how to do it.
Channing, you're Nakobe's PR campaign chairman. It seems like y'all running away. You're a finalist for the Buckets Award today. Why should Nakobe Dean be this year's Buckets Award winner?
Man, he's super smart. He leads the defense in a positive way. He gets us motivated. He does everything a linebacker should be, and everybody like everything a young linebacker should want to be. So, yeah, I definitely feel like he should win it this year.
And just kind of a follow-up. I mean, you, Nakobe, and Quay have played so much football together. In the past 3 or 4 years or whatever. It's been how much does that relationship translate? From the practice field, in film room, as much as y'all been into into game zones.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of chemistry. So like we know each other's strengths and weaknesses. So we kind of like act upon them. So like we don't, in a way, like we don't use like what we see as our weaknesses. We kind of like prey on it because like we're so competitive. So like when we see it, so like in order to make us better, like to turn our weaknesses into strengths, we'll like keep tapping in into little of those things in order to get our strengths stronger. So, yeah.
What does it mean to you guys when you go to another team's stadium and St. Georgia fans come in and take it?
Man, it's a crazy feeling. Like I want to say every away game, we haven't had that many away games this season, but like the away games we do have, it almost feel like home games or like just so many. You see so much red and black in the crowd. It just makes you feel comfortable out there, regardless of where we play.
Guys playing in Atlanta this weekend, so next weekend as well. It means to go up to Tech. I mean, this rivalry game. Can you speak on what it's like and what you're excited about?
Well, Alabama 0-2 record right now. Trying to change that. We gotta do what we gotta do. We're gonna come in there. Right now we focus on Georgia Tech, so we're gonna take it one step at a time. But like when that time comes, I can speak more on it.
No, I'm saying we have a Tech, like this rivalry.
I thought you was talking about the Alabama.
No, man.
Oh, my fault. With this game, they have a really good quarterback, so that we have to be equipped for it. Also, just that old-fashioned hate, just gotta get ready for it. We're going to their place. It should be a good game. Yeah, we haven't done too much. Like today, we start like really diagnosing them. So like I can't there's not too much I can speak on right now.
Did you watch the Arkansas-Alabama game on Saturday?
I didn't.
How much Bama have you seen this season on TV?
I've seen a couple. I've seen the Texas A&M game. I've seen them play a couple teams. Not that game.
How do you think you guys stack up with them?
I feel like we can stack up against anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. So I feel like our odds are always with us. That's how I always want to feel, regardless of who it is.
Can you honestly, when you think back to preseason camp and everything, you guys are sitting here 11-0, chance to go 12-0. Were you certain in preseason camp that this was the kind of team that you guys were going to put on the field this year?
Definitely. Like during our summer workouts, I could just tell like it was going to be different. Like we had score sessions where we became closer, like just talking about knowing our why. So not just going out there and playing and be like we playing for this or playing for that. Like now we playing for his mother or his family or like his situation. And then from there, our workouts have just been like 10 times harder than they have been in the past. So I just knew this year was going to be a special year just based off of that.
You mentioned when you walked to this podium that you haven't done this before. Is it tough? I mean, despite your status and tackles leader, to be on such a deep defense that maybe it's tough to get recognized and maybe tough to get in front of the cameras?
I want to say it's tough. I mean, I say like I'm just be myself. So like regardless of what's going on, what's going to do, like I stick to what I know, which is being myself. So like, and I feel like that's what's got me where I am now. Like just put my head down and do what I have to do, regardless if it's like doing the interviews or practicing or competing on game days. So yeah.
It took you, a couple of years to get to where you are as a player now. You think having to wait that time sort of has helped you become the player that you have this season as opposed to transferring elsewhere and then potentially playing earlier there?
Oh yeah. I feel like waiting, like especially with Coach Schumann, like we had a complex type of defense that you have to learn. So just like understanding how to learn it, like understanding just the defense as a whole, and not necessarily just what I have to do or what he has to do. I feel like it's made me a better player overall, not just like linebacker. So just like, I feel like if I had to go out there and play like a jack, or like even if I had to play like a star for a play, like I know like what everybody has to do. So like it just makes it, and not just me, like a lot of people on our team. So it just makes it feel more like united.
And then Brock Bowers, 8 receiving touchdowns this year. When did you guys kind of know he would be this good of a player for you guys?
I think I said it before, like in the past, I want to say we was running gassers. Yeah, we was on the line. I want to say it was like me, Adam, Darnell, some other people on our team, and he was like out running all of us. And we was like, who is this kid coming into this program doing these type of things? And he's just always showed up in practice on one-on-ones, everything. So like, we was like, yeah, he's going to be something.
Channing, Coach mentioned a couple weeks ago that the running backs and the linebackers had great competition this summer, and that he could tell that those groups were really going to be special leaders during those workouts. What was it, the competition between you and Zamir and that group? What was it that y'all were doing? What was it that was driving that sense of competition?
Well, when we first came in, I want to say like we always trying to see with the offense and defense, like not just the running back group, whose position the group is better. So it's like the linebacker group, the strength, the wide receiver group. So we like the linebacker group going to be the strength this year. And then the running backs are like kind of like, we always go against them like one-on-ones, tackle drills, it doesn't matter. So like they're like, so basically most of our competition is focused on them. So like when we go to that, those one-on-ones, everything that we do, they just trying to outdo us, and we try to outdo them. Yeah.
Xavier Story had an interception and had it taken away from him and had a couple of nice plays on Saturday. How has he progressed over the course of the season?
He's been doing good. Like he just made that transition from like that outside linebacker position to that inside linebacker position. So he's learning it, but he's doing a good job learning. He had a big hit in the game. Was very proud of him. Young, he's gonna make mistakes like all of us gonna make mistakes. So he just gotta keep pushing forward and do what he gotta do.
Coach said that the practices like Monday, Tuesday last week were maybe a little off than was that just based off the opponent? And how do you guys switch that? I guess knowing that the biggest games are starting to come up, we got to finish up the regular season, of course.
Yeah, we just have to keep holding ourselves to a high standard, like with practice. Just not take anything for granted. So like just this week, I feel like we're really gonna harp on that, especially since it is Georgia Tech, and we know how deep that rivalry is. Just we know like what's coming, and we're just gonna keep putting our head down like we have been all season and do what we have to do.
You said the practices and workouts were better this year.
Yeah, in my opinion.
What's going on that's different?
So during the summer, like they're different. We call them boxes. So like we have to run around the field a certain amount of times. Like maybe he'll decrease the time limit, or like we'll look at the GPS and we'll have to hit a certain number on the GPS based off of like how fast he knows we can run. Just different things like that. It's just more intensified. Or like there was one week where we had to wake up at like 5:30 in the morning and jog from here to the stadium, run stadium steps. It was just crazy. Just different things like that.
Playing at the same time with Quay and Nakobe, I honestly don't know how much you've done that in the last couple of weeks, but was it a matter of just taking an existing package and using it more, or was there anything like y'all have to say, all right, you have to create a new package?
It was kind of like we had like an existing package with it, like cause we call like we have I'm not gonna say the package, but yeah, we have a package in the past like where we have used it, so it's just like taking the old package and just adding more to it. So yeah, that was kind of like what that was, just adding on more to it and going from there, really.
Now, you and Quay both played, I think, D-end in high school, right? And so you moved to inside linebacker, both of you, I think, early in your career.
Oh yeah.
Is that it? So is it an easy thing to just kind of flip a switch and do that, or is it?
Nah, going from like the outside the end position.
And I don't mean D-end, I mean like, edge guy, basically, outside linebacker.
Going from edge to inside, is that what you asked?
Well, I'm saying now doing that, like
having
having the background
Oh, no. Like right now, it's not, it's a little change. It's not much of it's not a huge change just because I've done it before and Quay's done it before. It's like we kind of know the defense, like know what it's going to do. So it's not as big of an adjustment as you would think it would be. Now, the opposite, totally different.
I know. Yeah. Well, because a lot of people think it's as simple as like, all right, just shift this guy there to that position, you know. And,
Oh no,
you know,
it's like a whole new different.
Yeah.
So to ask you, what do you think's going on with the star position? I heard Chris Smith played a little bit there the week before, and then this week William Poole came in. I mean, how do you feel about, you know, different guys, you know, rolling in that spot?
I feel like everybody on our team can play. I trust our coach's position. I trust my teammates. So whoever's there, I trust. Doesn't matter.
Okay, we have time for 2 more questions for Channing.
How much have you allowed yourself, or do you allow to think about Alabama at all this week? Because obviously that's going to be 1 versus 2. It's a huge game. One of the biggest games they've had in the SEC championship.
I always do have in the back of my head, like I was just talking about earlier when he was talking about the rivalry. I went straight to the Bama. I think he was talking about Bama, but
Yeah.
I try to I tone it out because like I feel like when I do that or any of our teammates do that, like we're not focused. Like we gotta take it 1 game at a time. Like we're not focused on you can't be focused on other teams when you have more game to play. So and when you do that, like you kind of overwhelm your head and it just kind of goes all over the place. And so like you just gotta take it 1 step at a time. So right now we're just worried about Georgia Tech. We're gonna leave it at that.
Channing, how do you think Georgia Tech compares to Clemson, South Carolina, from a guy that grew up in that state? Do you have any sense of this rivalry versus that one?
I feel like the